Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. Priscilla here. With artwitchaugust, I totally forgot what I was just about to say, but here we are for day 4. The prompt is crystal, and we're doing analogous colors, and those are colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. And yes, I'm excited. This is going to be very fun. It's also going to be super tedious, only because it's me, again. Hi. I'm the problem, it's me. So what we're going to do is make some of these crystals. So I'm going to start out by making a little paper template so that I have a roadmap to work with. Crystals are essentially just a bunch of straight lines that meet at an angle. So just keep that in mind if you are following along with me and you're trying to make your own crystals. It's fairly straightforward. Hopefully this will help you guys kind of see. It's just a bunch of shapes that you isolate. And you can make crystals any shape, honestly. And it's pretty fun. The thing that makes this really a tedious project is that I chose to cut out so many. So you see how I'm making 3 here? I will proceed to make 3 on every page, and then end up with 12 of these I have to do. And that was my mistake. I should have just stopped at 3. But I didn't. So I'm not mad about it because I'm really happy with how this project came out. I really love how it looks. And I think that you guys are really going to enjoy it. Unfortunately, I don't make you watch me cut out every single thing on all 12 sheets. So, in keeping with the next to the color wheel analogous color scheme, next to each other on the color wheel analogous color scheme, words are really hard, I decided to go with like a green, yellow, orange sort of vibe for one set, and then a purple, red, blue, not blue, yes blue, purple, red, and blue for the other set, and those are in fact next to each other on the color wheel, not necessarily in that order. But I have to draw on some facets because I want to paper piece in the facets of the crystals by mixing up all the little sheets together, which means that I have to cut out all of these shapes. Every shape that I drew on here. 12 times. And I'm going to achieve that by cutting out the shape from my stencil, my template first, and then using that as a stencil essentially to go through here. And I will say that you want to be kind of precise when you're doing this, but don't stress about being imprecise. Like, this isn't an exact science particularly. You just have to be kind of careful as you're going along that you don't warp your template too much or get too far off when you're doing your tracing, because at the end of the day it will all fit together, and the worst case scenario is that you have to trim a piece here and there to make it fit back together. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, guys. So don't stress yourself out too much. Just, you know, try to be careful, but if you mess up here and there, don't worry about it. And I will say, even through this process, I used a pen to trace out all my lines, and frequently would make mistakes while doing the marks, and then would tell myself, Priscilla, why don't you just use a pencil so you can erase it? But I said, no, we must persist. And I continued to use that pen the entire time and have lots of little extra scratchy marks everywhere. And by the end of it, I was like, how do I cover this up and fix it? And I thought about going over one of them with a black marker to see if I could cover up the marks I made, and I did that, but I didn't really love the effect. But like, I didn't hate the effect, it just wasn't the effect that I was going for. But then I took a gander at everything that I had made and decided that the marks didn't even matter. They just made it look sketchier and artsier. So lean into your mistakes sometimes, guys, or learn from mine and just use a pencil so you can erase anything that goes a little wonky as you're going along. So as you can see, this is a process with many steps, especially because, like I said, I did 12 of them. Thankfully, I'm not making you guys watch the entire thing. This took me a very long time. But the effect at the end is so worth it, you guys. It's so cool at the end. I don't have any regrets. This was time well spent. So essentially what I did was I traced all the little facets of the crystals out, then I cut them all apart, and I made sure to keep the same shapes in the same pile in the same color groups, and I kept my template so that I know which one is the bottom piece, because you got to get the bottom right, otherwise this entire project is doomed. So don't throw away your template. And then all I'm doing is just randomly picking different pieces from different little sets of the paper, like, so try not to get the same sheet, at least side by side, although sometimes I do that just for the funsies, and just gluing them together. That's it. Gluing them together onto another sheet of paper so that they become a tag in their final form. It's just like doing a puzzle. Except that you already know which piece goes where. You just don't know which color piece goes where. And look how cool this is. We just started, and it's already pretty cool. I did come up with an idea, and I'll show you guys that in a second. You'll see it as we're watching the video on how to just sort of one-up this a little bit if you wanted to add a little extra something to this. But on its own, this is very cool and very fun, and I really love this. I can definitely see myself making more of these like paper piece crystals in the future. I think I will definitely revisit this idea because I really loved how this came out. And also, like, just whatever you like choose for your paper will really change up the look of it, and I think also the crystal shape will add to it. But these are going to be really fun tags that could be used in a lot of places, not just in an Art Witch setting, but they would definitely look like this set wouldn't look out of place in a sort of galaxy or cosmic themed book. And I think the orange and green set would look really cool in like a steampunk book or something like that. So there's definitely a lot of versatility with this one, and I really love how it came out. And you could do this with other shapes. I will say I think it works the best on your hands if the shape is very geometric and has a lot of straight lines, as opposed to something with more curves and stuff, because you'll regret it unless you are a very precise cutter, which point I applaud you. I have shaky hands, so I can't do that kind of stuff. But I love how this came out. It was really fun. I don't know at what point I cut away, so I'm just rambling at this point because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I recorded these first and then came back to do the voiceovers after some time. Oh, and here you can see I didn't glue this down right, and I had to tear it up. And this glue dries really fast, so it became sort of a struggle, but it works. You can absolutely fix one after you put it down. So if you put one piece down wonky and you don't like how it came out, like, don't stress yourself, because you're a human being. Your cuts will not be perfect unless you have a machine cut these out for you, at which point I'm envious because my hand hurt after cutting all these out. Oh, thank God. So once you get everything all pieced out, I went back over with my ink pad to distress the edges, and I wanted it to be my ink pad deliberately so that I could get sort of this really splotchy sort of ink effect on there that looks really rough and like a little bit haphazard, to sort of really emphasize the shape of our crystal without taking away from the paper piecing in the middle. And just look how cool these are. I love them. They're so grungy looking. This paper was a really excellent choice for this. I really, really like these. But then I was like, what if you did something more? And the more, guys, the more part was I have some holographic vinyl, like, sticker sheets, adhesive vinyl sheets. Shout out to Megan at Megan the Moon, because she turned me onto these in one of her videos. And they've been sitting in my stash since I watched her do it, and I was like, oh, what would make your crystals more magical if they were holographic, shiny crystals? So here we are in the middle of this process. And I'm just trying to, like, not stick myself to the sticker sheet. That's what's happening here. And I will definitely be keeping the extra, like, little scrappy bits that I can salvage here for other projects, because I'm not wasting any of this for sure. But I picked these up for like $10 on Amazon and got like a bunch of sheets, probably more than I will use in the foreseeable future, but it was a really cool idea. So definitely props to her for turning me on to that, because I really, really love these. You guys are going to see when I turn these over how fun they are. They definitely have a different vibe when they're covered in like this holographic vinyl as opposed to just being like on their own. But I love it. I love both looks. I think you could do both projects with or without and still achieve very, very fun effects, like one way or the other, because this was definitely really cool. But once I get them stuck down, I'm just going to cut them out and make sure that I get, like, you know, the excess vinyl off that I don't need, salvage what pieces I can, because waste not, want not. But look how fun they are. Like, already super fun. And I definitely want to, like, make more things holographic now that I've done this. I love using this particular pattern with, like, the little, like, faceted bits because it adds to the sort of crystalline gemstone nature. It looks like a little bit like an opal now, and I really think that was just like a fun little extra touch. Not a necessary touch, so for sure don't feel like you have to go get this stuff, but if you get it, it's really freaking cool. And I really love how this came out. Also realized that it was a lot easier to go cut these straight lines out with my razor after the fact, so don't use your scissors. That was a struggle. Even though I have those scissors that are like non-stick, it was still a struggle. But look how fun these are. I love these. I really love how they came out. I honestly could take them either way, with the holographic or without, but I think the holographic just makes like my little magpie brain like super excited. So definitely let me know what you think of them in the comments below, and then come back tomorrow and see what we do for day 5, which is symbols. Bye guys. I appreciate your faces. Happy crafting.